Hello and welcome to Hollywood Guns. I'm your host Wilson. On this channel I exclusively feature firearms from my personal collection that appeared in your favorite movies and TV shows of the late 20th century. Now, what we have here is a firearm that left its mark not just in the movies, but across pop culture. This gun became iconic from its appearances in video games like Grand Theft Auto to being immortalized in 90s rap lyrics by legends like Tupac, Dr. Dre, and NWA. Known for its ease of concealment, low-cost and high-capacity magazines, it was infamously linked to street gangs, high-profile murders, and notorious mass shootings. While it was despised by the government, it was embraced by criminals in both real life and on the big screen. However, before it became the symbol of urban rebellion, it made its Hollywood blockbuster debut in 1985, showing a different side in a brief but memorable appearance as Jack Burton's sidearm in the cult classic Big Trouble in Little China. So brace yourself, because this is the story of the notorious Intratec TEC-9.
Wang, these guys, these Sing-Dings.
Chang Sings.
They got enemies?
Wing Kong.
Who wear red turbans.
Holy shit! These guys are animals, Jack.
Hey, I'll trade you. All right, which way? Fast, before they wake up. There, I think. Down there. Safety! Oh, yeah. Wait! First time you ever plugged somebody?
Of course not.
Come on!
All right, we're almost out of here. Now, from here on, it gets pretty normal. Offices, storerooms, a nice false front. I count to 3. I open that door, and we move out.
Everybody got that?
Ready? Follow the leader. 1, 2, 3. We may be trapped.
Fight together, Jack. Do or die. Time to go.
We made it. Holy shit, we made it!
Researching this video online, there's a lot of versions of the Intratec story, and plenty of arguments in the forums about who's right, wrong, was in the room, saw it, heard it from an unnamed source, etc. So, here's my version based on synthesizing and condensing the most plausible and repeated lore. If I've got it wrong, please educate us in the comments. For full disclosure, I'm just a limey. I wasn't there. In fact, I was a kid at the time. Let's do a quick safety check. She's clear. All right, so there is an unsuccessful military backstory beginning in Sweden during the Cold War for a special forces machine pistol called the MP9. But for brevity, Intradynamics USA was founded in the early 1980s by a Swiss designer called George Kellgren and a Cuban-American Carlos Garcia. The KG-9, K for Kellgren and G for Garcia, was introduced in 1982. It was quickly banned by the ATF due to its open bolt design and supposed ease of conversion to fully automatic fire. Kellgren responded by tweaking the design, called it the KG-99, and it featured a closed bolt mechanism, threaded barrel like this one has here, and several other variants including the KG-99 Mini. Now, when the company was established in 1984 in the USA, Kellgren sold his shares to Garcia, and the Swedish parent company also withdrew. It was Garcia who named the company Intratec, and the KG-99 became the now infamous TEC-9. Garcia made a minor design change, replacing the KG-99's front sight with a simpler milled button here, and replacing the recoil buffer with a metal cap for improved durability. I'll quickly show you what that looks like by disassembling the gun. Now, as you can see, this is a very simple design. We got a lower made of polymer, and then it's kind of your simple kind of grease gun upper here. And anyway, so this is the metal end cap that I was talking about. They had found that I think this was probably made with polymer, and they replaced it with metal so that it had a lot more durability. And durability is something which we'll come on to as I finish off the TEC-9 story. These early TEC-9s from 1985 to 1987, like my example, which is the same one in Big Trouble in Little China, are generally reliable if used with factory magazines and proper ammo. Now, in my testing, proper ammo means ball ammo, 115 grain to 124 grain. And I found flat nose and hollow points failed to feed and jammed almost constantly. If you see my other videos, you'll know that this seems to be a common issue with many guns in the semi-auto range designed during the 1970s and the 1980s. Let's put it back together right now. Now, in 1989, California's assault weapon ban targeted the TEC-9 by name. And Garcia responded by renaming the TEC-9 to the DC TEC-9. The DC meant the design for California. In 1990, the Tech Cote finish was introduced. This was a change on the finish on the polymer, but poor marketing messaging led to the misconception about the guns being fingerprint proof. And as such, it was believed the guns were even more appealing to criminals. You know, who knows whether or not this was actually true, but what was true is the government and the ATF despised the TEC-9 and used this to motivate them to work even harder to ban and bunker up the company. Mounting legal battles drove cost reductions, which led to poorer quality control. You know, the company made changes like they changed the front sight to a simpler design, which tended to get bent if you dropped it. But the company just continued to try and adapt and stay ahead of things, and it released something called the AB-10. The AB being for after ban. And this was a reworked TEC-9 without this threaded barrel that this one has. Sorry if I wasn't clear earlier on, there's a threaded barrel under here. This is, you know, obviously a muzzle device, like a little compensator, if you like, to try and keep the muzzle down when firing the gun repeatedly. You know, despite improving quality control in the mid-90s, sales unfortunately remained sluggish, and Intratec limped along for the best part of a decade more, finally ceasing production in late 2001. The owner, Carlos Garcia, appears to have since vanished, but designer called George Kellgren went on to greater things. After a brief stint with a new company called Grendel, he eventually founded Kel-Tec, which continues to this day with economically priced, sometimes questionable quality, but always highly innovative and groundbreaking firearm designs. Now, you know, sticking with that sometimes questionable quality theme, probably my most frustrating gun, but funnest to shoot, is actually a Kel-Tec. This is the CMR30 in the kind of underappreciated 22 Magnum cartridge. It's like an HK MP7 for about 10% of the price. I had it for about 4 frustrating Jam-O-Matic years before somebody on Reddit told me that I could solve the feed issues that this gun seemed to just continually have by going out and buying a specific model of mag loader, and this is actually it. You know, as soon as I got this, I loaded the magazines up. See, it has this really cool 30 round magazine in the handle. So jamming so many rounds into here, especially if a rim cartridge, just caused an awful lot of failures to feed and jams and things. But anyway, once I put this in my inventory here, the gun absolutely worked flawlessly. And now it's a total joy to shoot. And, you know, that kind of janky home workmanship mentality that's in these modern Kel-Tecs seems to have always been a feature of Kellgren's designs. And I kind of love him for it. You know, the TEC-9 is made from, I'm sorry, but, you know, polymer that is not exactly the highest quality, but it is very simple to manufacture, both the lower and the metal stamping on the tube design. You know, and the guns, while they are certainly innovative and unique, they are definitely low cost and janky. You know, the non-metal parts, especially in the TEC-9, haven't really been built to last even the 4 decades of little use of this gun has had before me. Spare parts are quite hard to come by, so really, unfortunately, this gun is pretty much just a safe queen that I bring out to impress my friends every once in a while. And impress it does. The TEC-9 is definitely the baddest of all the baddies. In each of my videos, I like to discuss the accuracy of firearm portrayal in the movie versus real life. The first category assesses whether the movie accurately depicted the amount of ammunition each gun could hold. This includes whether reloads were shown appropriately or if the weapon appeared to fire an unrealistic or unlimited number of rounds without reloading. Now, Jack Burton acquires the firearm while trying to escape Lopang's dungeon and only fires the TEC-9 twice in this first sequence. The mag in the gun looks to be the 32 rounder like mine, and I counted 8 rounds in the first scene and 10 in the second for a running total of only 18 rounds fired. Later on in the movie, seen carrying the TEC-9 as they attempt the rescue of Jack and Wang's girlfriends. It's unclear if he reloaded the mag between these scenes, but the point is moot because when the fight kicks off, Jack only discharges the weapon 3 more times straight into the ceiling above him, and the falling masonry lands on his head, knocking him out. Once he recovers, he quickly loses the gun in a scuffle with Thunder, one of the basket heads, who shatters the gun into a million pieces. From then on to the final boss scene, Jack reverts to using his Gerber boot knife. Grade A. The second category examines whether the impact of the shots fired matched the realistic effects of the firearm's caliber. For example, while a 12-gauge shotgun might knock a person backward, a 9mm round is not really going to send someone flying. Interestingly, the guards that Jack steals the TEC-9 from are clearly the lowest form of low-cost muscle. We know this because when Jack fires the TEC-9, first of all, it's deployed shot by shot in semi-auto. Clearly, Lopang's goons were not bright enough to follow the instructions easily available back in the day on how to convert the TEC-9 to full auto. Jack nails at least 4 guards in the sequence with 9mm, and at about 2 rounds per goon, they are effectively put down. Scores another grade A. The final category evaluates whether it's reasonable to expect the character to make the shots they attempted, particularly at extended ranges. This considers whether hitting the target was plausible or if it was highly improbable based on the character's skill and the firearm used. Now, this is where Jack Burton in Big Trouble earns a lower score. When Jack first attempts to fire the TEC-9, the weapon doesn't, and we discover he has the safety still on. Bonus points now for the deceased guards he stole it off for practicing good gun safety. Then, once the gun is live and he fires, unfortunately he adopts a weak shooting position, first by holding the gun in just one hand, and a strategy of jerking each shot as the gun waves itself around from recoil in between the volley of shots. Nevertheless, it seems that some of the 8 rounds make their mark and put the bad guy down. Even though the distance between Jack and the bad guy seems to be only a few yards, Jack's lack of gun control makes me wonder if he would hit that guy in a real-life firefight.
Are you crazy? Is that your problem?
Yeah, sorry Jack, I am. Grade F. Overall score for the TEC-9 in Big Trouble in Little China? Grade C. One of the common themes of the TEC-9 in Hollywood is that it's almost always the bad guy's gun. Since life often imitates art, did Hollywood cause this infamous reputation, or did it simply reflect the zeitgeist at the time? Even Jack Burton, who is really the only good guy to ever carry the TEC-9, obtained his by liberating it from the Wing Kong guards in Lopang's underground dungeon. With the exception of falling down where the anti-hero Foster obtained one in similar fashion, if you were an 80s or 90s baddie, you needed a TEC-9.
I'm the bad guy?
Yeah.
How did that happen? Well, hey, I'm really sorry, too.
Get a gun! Let's get organized. Calm down. Just calm down, everybody. Just sit down. Sit down over there.
Hey. Mister. Where are you going? No. You sit down there and you finish your lunch. Come on. Everybody just relax and take it easy. Come on. Why don't you eat your lunch, please? Eat your lunch. You all need your vitamins A's and B's and... No, it's an accident. It was an accident. The trigger, it's sensitive. It's okay.
Notable TV credits included multiple episodes of The A-Team and Miami Vice, and in the movies, a whole collection of thugs, gang members, arms traders, and henchmen are briefly seen spraying and praying in the RoboCop franchise, Bad Boys 2, and a whole slew of B-movies that only the nerdiest cinephiles will remember. And briefly appears to be the operative word here, because if you carry a TEC-9, The script calls for your life expectancy on screen to be just a few seconds. Even Bridget Nielsen, who made it unscathed all the way through Beverly Hills Cop 2, is not immune to the curse of the TEC-9. Shortly after her character rectifies the mistake of choosing the full-auto mini TEC-9 and replacing it with a Desert Eagle in the final shootout, she lasts barely another minute.
Goodbye, Mr. Foley.
Women.
Today, the TEC-9 is no longer in production, but its legacy lingers. The gun remains a symbol in debates over gun control, criminal violence, and Second Amendment rights. In the US, its role in high-profile incidents and pop culture has made it one of the most infamous guns of the last century. Since the assault weapons ban expired in 2004, similar guns to the TEC-9, like the Beretta PMX, are available again, though the market's changed. Today, firearms with so-called high-capacity magazines and similar features are still under scrutiny, and the TEC-9's legacy remains a reference point in ongoing discussions about firearms legislation. So, is the TEC-9 more myth than reality? It's hard to say. While the gun's notoriety is undeniable, from my own observations and testing, it's important to remember that its reputation was built more on its appearances in crime and the media than its actual capabilities. And that's another wrap. Thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on the TEC-9? Is it an unfairly maligned firearm, or does it deserve its notorious reputation? Let me know in the comments below, along with other famous movie firearms that you would like me to feature in future videos. And please don't forget to like this video, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you never miss an update. That's it for now. See you in the next one.
To the Army and Navy and the battles they have won. Here's to America's colors, the colors that never run.
May the wings of liberty never lose a feather.
God, aren't you even gonna kiss her goodbye?
No.
See you around, Burton.
Never can tell.